Alright. Welcome back to the channel for episode number 7. My name is Denny, and today we're talking about a very important thing in cinematography, which is lighting continuity. Most of the time, cinematographers, to maintain lighting continuity in a scene, will change the direction of the light from shot to shot, or the quality of it, or they add a bounce or a negative feel, or even change the positions of actors. I know, it sounds really weird. You will think that in order for a scene to make sense, lights should not be moving or changing. And you will probably be right, except it's wrong. Trust me, this will make perfect sense by the end of this episode, so stay with me. And I know by experience that some directors don't understand why you need to move the light from shot to shot, but by the end of this episode, you'll be able to explain them why you need to. Alright, so let's start by saying that lighting continuity can be interrupted if it better helps tell the story, or if it's more flattering for actors, since the audience won't even notice and they won't even care, because their focus isn't on the technical but on the narrative. Let's take Spider-Man No Way Home as a first example to illustrate what I'm saying. Here's our first shot. Can you guess where the sun is coming from? Pretty obvious, it's coming from this direction, illuminating her hair and Peter's shoulder. A bounce on this side to bring some level on her face. Probably a big negative feel on this side to bring some contrast. And you can notice we are on the far side, meaning that the camera is facing the shadow part of her face. I constantly talk about it, so for those who don't know what it means, on this shot you have both shadow side on the lady and front light from Tom. You see the difference, right? Front light is less aesthetic in my opinion and has less depth, where backlight or far side or shadow side has more contrast and provides more depth. Alright, back into Spider-Girl. Based on this shot, we should expect, let's draw it from the top so it's clear for everyone. So here, two people talking. Sun this way. We should expect Peter Parker, who is in front of her, to have this hard sunlight blasting into his face. It should be front lit, right? But if we have a look at the reverse shot, sun is coming from the other direction. Not at all what we were expecting. I mean, come on, it's a huge mistake from the cinematographer. How come they didn't notice this? I can't believe it. Oh my god. I mean, the sun was in front of him. But we can see here that the sun is coming this way now, illuminating his hairs and her hairs as well. Why? Because there's way more coherence in terms of mood and feeling between both shots if we keep shooting from the shadow side, rather than have a real life lighting experience who would disrupt the mood by front lighting him. And because it's way more beautiful. You see what I mean here? In order to keep lighting continuity, we have to change the position of the lighting setup. Otherwise, lighting continuity would have been wrong. And you would probably say, Denny, this sentence doesn't make any sense. How can the sun be both behind Zendaya and behind Tom Holland at the same time? Oh yeah, let's not forget about this guy, who is also backlit. The answer is pretty simple. No one cares. Either about the sun or about this guy named. No one cares. It's that simple. You still don't believe it. Let's have a look at Oppenheimer. We can clearly see a hard rim light coming from the sun here in this direction, running down his back, and it also hits Emily's blonde hair and down her left shoulder. Camera is once again on the far side, as usual. In the reverse shot, ta-da! The hard backlight that he had is completely gone. Based on the sunlight's direction from the last shot, Emily's blonde's face should be washed out in harsh sunlight. But it isn't. In fact, the light is now coming from this direction and seems to be softer now, simply because the harsh sunlight wouldn't have been flattering to the actress's face. So the decision to diffuse the sun was made without a single care to continuity. However, when the film story and acting are compelling, such small changes don't get noticed by the viewer. Also, if the light was coming in the same direction as the first setup, she would have been front-lit. Where here, with this change, we can still stay on the shadow side. And again, both shots match together in terms of mood and feeling. Lighting direction is not the only thing that cinematographers can change. Cinematographers often diffuse the light when coming to a close-up to make the light on the actor's face more appealing or more flattering. Like this example from Grey's Anatomy. We're starting with a wide shot. You can see the light coming this way is a diffused but still kind of hard light. Also, probably a giant neg on this side to create contrast, because as always the camera should be on the far side. Then, when we go for the close-up, ta-da! Really soft light. Way softer than before. See the difference? Then for the reverse shot, are they going to be front-lit, as they should? Nope. Light is coming from the other direction. Again, we still keep the shadow side facing the camera at all costs. Same technique for this shot, still from Grey's Anatomy. Hard light here on both people. Then close up on Meredith. Haha! Drastic change. The light got really soft here. See the huge difference? And still, no one cares. Be careful with this though, because I've made some mistakes about it in the past. I would first shoot my wide angle coverage, then when coming for a close-up, I would set a piece of diffusion just outside of the frame to have the softest light possible. Just in our example. But when doing this, you must always be sure that the exposure level on the face of the actor stays exactly the same. Because what we want is to change the quality of the light and not the level of it. So be sure to measure the light either with a light meter or with false color. But you must always keep the level of the face consistent. I mean, it's very important because otherwise it won't match with the wide. So learn from my mistakes, guys, so you don't have to do them as well. Again, when you change the quality of the light, be sure that the levels are not changing much. Alright, let's continue. Same here, hard light coming from this direction. You can feel it on both people here. Then first close-up. It makes sense, the hard light is still there. Actually, hard light can make a man more manly, so it's okay. But reverse shot? Uh-oh! Really soft light. Where is this hard light gone? Of course, hard light reveals skin imperfections and all. So, no hard light for female actresses when you can avoid it. I mean, you can watch the whole show, it's the same thing in every episode. And all of this can be also used with neg or bounces. This is from A Beautiful Boy. Pay attention to the beautiful contrast here. This part of the face is really dark, even on her. I bet the neg is really close to them, just here outside of frame, blocking all the light from hitting this part of their faces. But if the camera steps back, then the neg can't be that close anymore, which you can clearly observe here. The beautiful contrast is gone. Their face is way more feely, and especially his. Let's analyze this scene from Love and Other Drugs with Jake Gyllenhaal. A hard light coming from outside, probably, in this direction, giving this punchy and specular, cool light. Then the key light is coming from here, from inside, wrapping the faces. Of course, we are still on the far side. Probably an egg on this side as well. Same thing for the close-up, nothing changed. But when we go to the reverse shot, you probably got it by now, we're still going to keep the camera facing the shadow part. So we switch the side of the key light. Light is now coming this way. Again, Oppenheimer. Light coming from left. Close up, same thing. Look at the shadow here. When we hit the reverse shot, the light is coming from this direction. Shadow side, blah 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 blah. You got it, right? A Bronx Tale. It's pretty clear the light is coming from outside, from downstairs, in this direction, giving him this beautiful rim light. Then, reverse shot, we have a satellite coming, this time from inside, and from the other side. I mean, completely different setup. It has nothing to do with the first one. But you know what? Once again, no one cares. If the boy would have been front lit, with this punch light, his face would have been pretty lit up, and it would have been really really bad. And this also continues with the thousands of movie and TV show. Trust me, you'll see this pattern in every movie you'll watch from now on. You'll notice this every time, and actually, it's pretty crazy once you know about it. Actually, you know what? When you notice this, I invite you to come back in the comment section of this episode to let me know in which movie you spot those techniques. But yeah, I mean, by knowing this, we can be free to take some liberty for certain lighting changes if it helps better tell the story, or if it is more flattering for the actors, or simply more aesthetic, since the audience won't notice or care. They don't care. So, next time you're on a shoot and you're not sure whether you can change the light or not, just remember that no one cares. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you learned something. As usual, if you want to help the channel grow, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment to help with the algorithm thing. And I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao. Boom. Paf. Boom. Clack.